Hello, this is a video review of assignment number 3 for group piano at Levine School of Music. Before I go through the assignment sheet, I'd like to make a few notes about the height of the bench. You want to make sure that the students are really sitting at the right height. First, you just want to make sure they're sitting with a piano hand and that their elbow is really in line with the keyboard and parallel to the floor. You may have to adjust the bench a little bit higher to make that sitting on a little pad or maybe a sturdy book. Most students won't be able to sit with their feet on the floor and do that. They will need to sit all the way back so their back of the knees are at the front of the bench, and then they'll have their ankles crossed. So looking at the assignment sheet, the first thing is to make a piano hand, and it is just letting your hand hang loosely by your side, making sure it's really floppy, bringing it up, keeping that same shape, and making sure that all 4 knuckles are pointing up to the ceiling. It's very easy for these knuckles to point towards the wall, but we need to sort of loosely let them point up to the ceiling, and then making sure the thumb is loose. One thing we were talking about in class is making sure the wrist is really even so we don't have this or that. To fix that, it's good just to purposely make it higher and lower and then let it come to rest in the middle. A new element for our warm-up this week is playing with connected and not connected sounds. Beginning with connected, it is a sound where there's a tiny space in between each sound. A connected sound doesn't have that space. This warm-up uses fingers 3 and 2. That is the middle finger and the pointer finger. And we make a piano hand sitting on the keys, making sure it's really lovely before we start, and making a connected or making a not connected sound with 3, 2, 3, 2, and then moving up, looking for a good piano hand and checking it out, and then playing. And then moving back to the original spot. It's very wise to check for a nice piano hand shape before playing and after playing. And when we do a not connected sound, the fingertips will lift slightly off the key. There'll just be a little tiny space between the key, and our arm will lift just a bit. A connected sound, we keep our finger connected to the key, move up, and move down. It's easy when we're playing connected sounds to press too hard. So anytime you see some tension in the back of the hand or fingers lifted, you just want to play a little more softly, a little less energy. Students will do that with the right hand and then the left hand, and then begin to go on to their new music. The first piece I'd like to look at is page 18, Bluebird. Now, before we look at a piece, before we start playing a piece, we really want to look it over. And the first thing to do is to notice that this piece goes higher, that it's in 2 groups. It's on 3 black keys, and I notice that the left hand begins the first group and the right hand begins the second. It's really good for students to notice that specifically and raise the hand that starts the first group and the hand that starts the second group. And before we play any piece, we want to do 2 steps. The first is to point and count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. And then to find the moves, so we play here and here. Do that till it's really comfortable. And because this piece is unusual in that the first group starts with the left hand and the second group starts with the right hand, I review that before we begin. And then play and count. 1, 2, when students are playing that they're also really engaging the counting as well. So you really hear the counting and the playing at the same time. Then that is reviewed or repeated 2 more times, and students will make a check on that particular day for that particular piece. The next piece I'd like to look at is page 10, rollerblades. And in this one, we just want to look at the piece first and notice it goes lower. So it goes lower down the keyboard. It starts with the left hand, and the second group starts with the left hand. And it's played on 2 black keys. So the first thing I want to do is to point and count. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. With a clear, steady sound in our voice. Then we find the positions. I'm going to start in the middle of the keyboard, 2 black keys, and then going lower. Do that with very easy piano hands and piano motion. And then I notice the left hand starts, and I look at the page. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Now, to make sure that students are really looking at the score while they're playing, it's a great idea to hold something over their hands. So, as they're playing the first group, their eyes are up here, and then right before they move to the second group, move it away so they can see where they're going, and then put it back. And that really trains their eyes to be on the score, which is what we want when students are reading music. We just look down at the keyboard at a move for a very brief time. The last piece is playing Frisbee, and it's on page 11, and it's really just the opposite of rollerblades. Then after that, we'll do the review music, which was new last time. We could probably just play and count those pieces through. And our last item is composing, and we want to rearrange on the bleachers to make a new piece. And we discussed that in class, and students had some ideas about how they're going to rearrange it, and they want to do it enough times that's really in their memory so that they have a plan for it. So thank you very much for watching, and happy practicing.